Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Und da bin ich mit Slay the Princess. Ich weiß so gut wie gar nichts über das Spiel und das, was ich weiß, behalte ich für mich. Und wenn das Spiel schon mal damit startet, dass es keine falschen Entscheidungen gibt, das impliziert ja schon fast Choices Matter, was nicht gut ist. Aber mal gucken. Chapter 1: The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Wenn ich die Maus bewege, bewegt sich der Hintergrund. Das ist sehr schön.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh boy. Schon mal gut, dass zumindest etwas vorgelesen wird. Ich hoffe, das bleibt auch so. So, ich habe also ganz viele Explore-Optionen. Ich habe sehr viele Optionen. Oh Mann. Ich würde einfach erstmal die erste nehmen, anstatt mir alles durchzulesen. The end of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Mhm. Sind das jetzt doch die alten Fragen wahrscheinlich? Ja. Achso, Explore macht dann also nicht die Story weiter, sag ich mal. Damit kann ich einfach nur noch Fragen stellen. But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Mhm. Okay, die typische Reddit-Frage hier, ja. Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Mhm.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Mhm.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Okay.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Ja.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Ja. Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Mhm.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Mhm.
Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Er macht mich jetzt also nach mit seiner Stimme. Okay. Sollen das jetzt meine Gedanken sein?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Naja, so schwach werde ich ja wohl nicht sein. Ich meine, ich kann sie ja immer noch erwürgen oder ähnliches. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Wessen Manipulation? Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Das klingt nach so einem typischen Rule 34 Voice Actor. Nicht, dass ich da irgendwie Erfahrung drin habe oder so.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful.
Ach ja?
Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
Der Held muss ja auch ein bisschen dumm sein, wenn er denkt, oh, die sieht aber geil aus. Dann kann sie ja gar nicht böse sein, hallo?
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Like, whatever, dude. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
Das hört sich nicht gut an.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade.
What? Achso, das sagt der Held. Okay, ich war schon ein bisschen verwirrt.
Don't you dare.
Okay, wir können uns also mehr oder weniger aussuchen, welchen von diesen zwei Charakteren wir folgen.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten your grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Okay, sie gibt mir schon mal Gründe, das ist sehr gut.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Mann, bin ich froh, dass das alles vorgelesen wird. Ich bin nämlich eigentlich mit dem Gedanken reingegangen, dass es gar kein Voice-Acting gibt, aber... okay.
Oh? No talking then?
Ja.
What even makes you think you can kill me?
Knife.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Ja.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Ich muss auch sagen, die Person, die die Prinzessin hier angekettet hat, ist auch sehr unfähig. Wenn man bedenkt, dass es erstmal auch nur eine Kette ist, obwohl hier eine zweite ist. Und die Kette ist auch sehr lang, was ihr sehr viele Möglichkeiten gibt, mich umzubringen. Ich kenne mich aus.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Okay. Deal. Slay the princess.
doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Ha. Wir sind anscheinend kein normaler Held. Und sie hat auch sofort eine kämpferische Position hier eingenommen. Und so geil sieht sie halt auch nicht aus, also...
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts!
Sagt der Held mit seinem gebrochenen Unterkiefer, okay.
Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Ich meine, sie hat auch sogar noch ihre High Heels an, was schon mal eine zweite Waffe ist. Finish the job, hopefully.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
Achso, ich bin auch schon schwer verletzt, oder wie?
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now.
Okay, das habe ich auch noch nicht so ganz realisiert oder deutlich gemacht, aber der Held hört auch den Narrator.
Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Das ist sogar fast schon anatomisch korrekt, weil das Herz ist nämlich eigentlich eher in der Mitte des Körpers und nicht rechts von mir aus gesehen. Also von mir aus gesehen, wenn ich die Frau an... Also auf der Seite, wo ihr glaubt, wo das Herz ist, das meine ich, ja.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
Was war das denn jetzt für ein Geräusch? Sollen das die Ketten gewesen sein?
This was fun.
Geht.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
Habe ich jetzt ihr Herz getroffen oder ihre Lunge?
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder. Do you really think this is the end?
Ja, man muss dem Spieler jetzt noch mal ein bisschen direkt sagen, nee, Bruder, das Spiel ist noch nicht zu Ende, so läuft das hier nicht.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Adversary.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Die Story kommt mir bekannt vor.
You're here to slay her.
Ah.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Also einmal haben wir die Welt schon gerettet. Mal gucken, wie oft ich das noch hinkriege. Natürlich jetzt die entsprechende Frage von wegen, ist das nicht schon mal alles passiert? I'm getting a terrible sense of déjà vu.
Terrible sense of déjà vu.
Yeah.
You don't have that.
Oh.
This is the first time either of us have been here.
Mhm. Gut, dass er das klargestellt hat. Dann können wir ja die eigentliche Story jetzt weitermachen.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Hä? Das sagt jetzt der Held? Zu mir? Oder über mich? Okay, es wissen also beide, dass ich Okay,
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Oder hat der Held das jetzt über den Narrator gesagt? Oh Mann, ey.
That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning.
Jetzt haben wir noch eine dritte Stimme. Okay. Das wird langsam ein bisschen Disco Elysium. Ohne dass ich mir Stats aussuchen durfte.
That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
This is more than just a deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened. Man kann diesen dummen Gedanken also noch weiterführen, okay.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. Like I said, we've just met for the first time, you and I.
Ihr fragt euch sicher, warum ich das auswähle, wenn ich mich halt darüber lustig mache. Aber die Sache ist, in dem zweiten Run ist das wahrscheinlich die einzige Chance, die man hat, das zu sagen. Deswegen muss ich den Content ausnutzen. Okay. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Startet es also nur neu, wenn ich sterbe? Ist das also das Ziel zu überleben?
We did our best with the information we were given. And we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right.
Dann wäre ja die einfachste Option, einfach straight up sie immer wieder mit dem Messer anzugreifen. Weil irgendwann müsste ich ja ihre Moves kennen. Außer natürlich, das Spiel macht ein 12 Minutes, aber darüber will ich nicht mehr verraten.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Guter Punkt.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Ich habe auch eine dunkle Vermutung, was das angeht, aber das sehen wir noch früh genug.
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? Ugh, enough with the talking. We've got a fight to win. Nothing else matters.
Ja.
I couldn't agree more. The cabin and your destined confrontation with the princess awaits.
Ja, damit komme ich jetzt wahrscheinlich wieder zurück zu diesen ersten Fragen. Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Ja, ich glaube, das ist Wort für Wort das, was er schon mal gesagt hat.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Doesn't sound like her.
Are
Okay.
you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Aber irgendwann muss ich ihr ja vertrauen. Ich will ja den Content ausreizen.
Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
Proceed into the cabin.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Und ein Spiegel.
See? Even the cabin has the right idea. Let's get moving.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Yeah, you didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Und der Spiegel ist ja jetzt natürlich nur da, damit wir uns selbst angucken können, weil unsere Hand ja so merkwürdig aussah.
There's definitely a mirror.
Das ist wirklich Disco Elysium.
There isn't.
You already wasted so much time in the woods. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
I care. I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am.
I care less about that and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Ich glaube irgendwie fast schon, dass er den wirklich nicht sieht, aber Jetzt kann ich natürlich noch auf das wesentlich Offensichtlichere eingehen. This whole cabin is different than last time.
Very different.
Ach so, der Held erinnert sich also auch an alles, was passiert ist, oder wie?
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. The world is depending on you.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Stimmt sogar, ja.
This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
Ah, der Spiegel ist jetzt weg, okay.
And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
Ich dachte eben gerade bei Another Challenger meinte sie meinen ersten Run, aber anscheinend nicht.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
Der Stubborn und die Prinzessin, die haben ja jetzt ein bisschen was in common.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Das war die dunkle Vermutung, die ich hatte, dass sie sich halt auch erinnert. Was bedeutet, ich kann nicht mit jedem Kampf besser werden, weil sie halt auch lernen kann.
And you brought your little knife too. Yes.
Die Größe ist aber unwichtig.
I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Also, noch mehr Optionen könnten das halt auch nicht sein, aber okay. Ja, jetzt würde ich natürlich laut den Narrator hier aussprechen vor ihr. Das ist natürlich interessant. I hope you heard all that, Mr. Narrator. This is a lot different than last time, but last time definitely happened.
Okay, fine. Let's say for a moment I believe you. For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time.
Ja, das glaube ich ihm auch.
Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
You look different?
You look exactly the same.
Okay. So you do remember me?
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
Das ist vielleicht wirklich diese Art von Voice Actor.
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
Attack the princess.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess.
Prepare to die.
Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact.
Okay.
She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me.
Aha. Der Intent fehlt also.
It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win. She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action.
Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
Okay. Bait an opening and outmaneuver her.
You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her.
She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
Und ihre Brust blutet nicht mehr? Okay.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter.
Mein Gehirn ist vielleicht kaputt, aber ich habe eine Sache damit lernen können.
Everything goes dark and you die.
Sie schien jetzt nämlich in dieser Form stärker zu sein. Vielleicht hat sie dann auch in jeder verschiedenen Form irgendeine Art von Schwäche. Chapter 3, The Eye of the Needle.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
Er erinnert sich also auch an alles.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it.
Und das dachte ich mir auch, dass mit jedem Versuch irgendeine neue Stimme dazu kommt. Er ist also der Ängstliche, ja. Und wahrscheinlich der Paranoide.
So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on?
Also jeder kann sich erinnern, außer der Narrator. Das wäre nicht unmöglich.
What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that. There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here. Are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet.
Es ist natürlich ein bisschen etwas, dass es halt derselbe Voice Actor hier ist für alle Stimmen außer die Frau. Das wäre beeindruckend. Aber wenigstens versucht er anders zu klingen.
Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me.
We haven't talked enough about how different this place is. I wouldn't even call these woods. It's like an influence has poured out into the world. Das könnte vielleicht sogar wirklich sein, weil beim allerersten Mal haben wir gegen sie gekämpft und beim zweiten Mal war sie stärker und konnte viel besser kämpfen.
It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further.
Also hat er das jetzt mehr oder weniger confirmed? Dass ihr Wille sozusagen nach außen dringt und Dinge verändert?
Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong.
No matter what happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the woods. We might as well see this through. Proceed to the cabin.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning?
Letztes Mal sah es aber auch wie eine Holzhütte aus. Nur dann war es eben eher ein steinernes Gebäude.
From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it.
You never mentioned the mirror. Nah, that damn mirror's back.
Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. Let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Approach the mirror. Vielleicht sehen wir ja jetzt irgendwas.
Approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort.
Ja.
The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Jetzt muss ich also anscheinend vorsichtig sein und das würde auch den Titel des Chapters erklären.
Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
I know you can get out of there on your own.
But that wouldn't be fun. I don't want to be a monster chasing you down. I want to face you head on. I want an equal. It's so much better that way.
We need to get closer. She needs to see us to give chase.
Scheint also wirklich jetzt der Plan zu sein, dass wir sie rauslocken. Continue to the basement landing.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling. Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh. Break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them.
Ah, stimmt. Sie ist noch angekettet, das habe ich gar nicht gesehen.
I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
If you want a good fight, if you really want to see me at my best, we need somewhere with more space.
The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you? You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Gut zu wissen.
Good.
Ja.
You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
Ich habe das Gefühl, ich werde es nicht zum Ende schaffen.
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it.
Do what?
Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Überraschend wenig Optionen. Slay the princess.
You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on. Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again.
Okay, das ist aber nicht ihr Bein, aber okay, I'll take it.
Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we?
Nee.
You just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
Stimmt, das Spiel hat mich ja gespoilt und direkt am Anfang gesagt, das ist eine Love Story.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady.
Ah, mein Icon ist jetzt auch ein Messer, was blutig ist. Interessant.
More! Keep going! We can't stop! Now! You spy an opening. But this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us! But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something.
And?
Okay. But you do not have the chance to respond. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
The narrator is gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here. The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. The thing reeks of death. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
The mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Ist das jetzt ein richtiger Reset? You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Bin ich damit gemeint oder sie? Und reden da die Hände oder sie? The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. perspectives to make my own. This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart.
So wird sie also kategorisiert. Die anderen werden dann wahrscheinlich auch irgendwas mit hart genannt.
Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Also werde ich in dem nächsten richtigen Run wahrscheinlich dann auch nicht mehr eine Echse oder irgendwas sein. Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
Das würde natürlich Sinn ergeben.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Cool. Keine der Sachen gefällt mir so richtig. Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Okay. Destroy your body. Das ist What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Aha. Also das kann dann sozusagen den Reset triggern.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Ich werde sehr viel Zeit mit dem Spiel verbringen müssen, glaube ich. Und sehr viele Folgen. Höchstens 10. Wahrscheinlich werden es 5. How much will I forget?
Everything.
Oh.
Until we meet again.
Naja, everything kann es ja nicht sein, weil das würde mich ein bisschen wundern, wenn so eine Windows Executable mein Verstand löscht, aber okay. How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find.
Ja.
I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Danke für nichts. Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Okay, das war gut. Everything goes dark and you fucking die. Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
How unexpected. Save. Page 1. A und Q. Quick Saves. Automatic Saves. Nach jeder Antwort oder wie? Okay. Yes. Nice. Und damit würde ich sagen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye.